Hey friends, John here with 18 inches down. So the reason why I'm pausing a little bit is because, when you go through something, um, sometimes you just don't have the words to be able to convey or process, especially as men. I think we have a hard time sometimes just conveying what we've either been through or how we're feeling. And I know that's a big issue because of how we were conditioned, how we were raised, the patterns in our lives. Um, so, today, when it comes to miscommunication, I guess this is what I wanted to share, is just about miscommunication. We're missing a communicative part of the puzzle, whether it's between a husband and wife, whether it's between friends, um, co-workers, whatever it is. I think communication is, learning the art of communication is one of the things that is dependent upon how egocentric we are and how conditioned we are to believe a certain way. And then out of that comes patterns. And the patterns in our life just cause us to become a certain mindset without even really thinking what we're doing, without becoming really self-aware enough to understand or see what it is that we're actually doing on an everyday basis, a moment by moment. And so when it comes to communication, I just to be transparent, kind of open about my own life, I've struggled with, how do I put this? I've struggled with just how to be more relaxed and more playful in every given moment when I'm facing something that needs to get done. In other words, if there's something that's lingering that definitely has to be done, whether it's the dishes, whether it's work, something work related, some project, some little task or some enormous one, I've always struggled with, I've got to get this thing done before I can relax. I've got to do this before I can relax. And part of that comes from my parents. I know my mom has really um, had to walk through that her entire life, and I think that was placed upon her by her mother, and then the patterns just continue, right? And there's nothing wrong with having some sort of a determination or urgency to get something done if in fact it needs to be done in a certain time frame. It's how we respond to it. It's how we present ourselves to it that matters. Because if we're making everybody around us, including ourselves, stressed out, then we're missing something. And so I've had some patterns of that in my own life where I get real intense, I get real, I can't relax sometimes, and then I put that pressure on my wife, put that pressure on others around me, and it's not good. It's just not healthy. I like the word healthy better than good, because when we say it's not good or bad, we're going into the good and bad. And so, I have a tendency of sometimes placing that on others to make them feel bad because they're like, I can't do anything right, kind of thing. And that's not my heart at all, but it can come across that way. So I don't know if you struggle with this, but I know that somebody must, because it's on my heart to share this, is that there is a way through it. There is a way to overcome it. There's a way to heal that side of our lives to where we can, in fact, integrate it and then move forward by our spirit. And so, if you struggle with this kind of thing in your own life, then just remember, you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. There's many people that struggle with, why do I have to get this done? Well, what's the root cause of that? When I can tell you in my own life, it's like, what are other people? Part of it's, what are other people going to think? I think I've healed a lot of that, I believe, but there's many more layers to go, I'm sure, because we never see the end of some kind of expansion, right? There's always something to grow into and expand into. But then also, it's the part where, well, if I get this done, then it just doesn't compound and compile upon everything else. Because if you only have certain hours in the day, right? You only have a certain amount of time, certain amount of energy. It's just, again, the approach to it. You could approach it playfully, or we can approach it angrily or frustratingly. And it's the difference between what I'm seeing now, what I'm picturing now is like working on a vehicle or something in the home, and like hanging several pictures, for example, and you've got a concrete wall. I'm just throwing this out there. You can either do that patiently and kind of have fun with it with your partner, whoever it is that's next to you. You can just kind of, laugh about it and jokingly just do it lighthearted. Or you can look at it and say, I'm not getting this perfect, they're not lined up, and then just get more and more frustrated. It's completely up to us. And again, it goes back to the patterns and the conditioning that we have from our youth that has not been healed and integrated yet. And this is just one area of many, right? But it's something that I was just struggling with this morning, and really seeing it for what it is. Because look, I'm looking at you're looking at the ocean right behind me, and there's a rhythm and a flow to it. And then people come down to the beach to play, kids come down to build sand castles and play in the sand. And I'm looking over this way, I'm seeing butterflies just floating around, and they always look like they're playing. So there's always something in nature pointing back to us to help us in this journey, so that we don't have to go through it like a bull in a china shop all the time. We don't have to go through it frustrated and angry and looking at everything around us like it's against us, or just why isn't anybody keeping pace with me, and that's all ego, guys. And I can honestly admit it's been ego in my life. But the key ingredient here, the key part of it is, do we see it? Are we self-aware to where we can look at it and say, oh, okay, I know that needs to heal in my life. So self-awareness is key. I'm aware of it. And now what am I going to do with it? I'm going to look at it and say, okay, all right, I see you for what you are. I'm going to send love to that part of me that's not healed. Send love from the greater part of me by just saying, hey, I love you. You can say it out loud, or you can say it in your mind. Out loud is always best. Make sure you don't say that in a crowd, because then, it may go a little different for you. Unless you feel led to do that, But it's how we posture ourselves in the middle of this to bring healing to our lives. And oftentimes it's just a surrendering into the self-awareness in the moment that we see it, and we're like, okay, I see it. All right. Now I'm shifting and I'm changing. Love and grace and mercy is there to help us change. It's who we're made of. It's what we're made of. And now I can shift and really mature in that area, or expand, or become more conscious in that area, so that I can be more enjoyable to be around, more playful to be around. Amy and I often say this, play saves the day, but really integrating that into your life and living by that principle is what matters. And so it's a process. I mean, it's a journey, it's a developmental thing, it's an awakening, it's an expansion into these areas. But once we see it, and then we're like, oh, okay, all right, what are we going to do with it then? We can double down and become more frustrated and make ourselves and everyone around us more irritated. And that's unfortunately, that's what a lot of society is doing right now, because they don't know how this operates. They don't know what self-awareness really is. They don't know how to become self-aware, because all it is survival. When you're in survival mode, fight, flight, and freeze, when you are grinding it out, and that's what you think this world is all about, what you believe life is all about, then you're going to double and triple down and make it worse. I would suggest, like I'm doing even now, is just sinking into love, sinking into the sand, sinking into this beautiful, gorgeous day on Maui, and sinking in and begin to be more playful. That's what my wife would love for me to do, and oftentimes we do play, but not enough. And I'm just admitting it right now, that as I'm awakening, as I'm expanding into this 18 inches conscious man, 18 inches down conscious man, the heart-centered way, it's an unveiling, it's an unfolding each and every moment of the day so that we can become those people that are really enjoying life and being more playful, even in the midst of challenge and hardship. And I know many of you are going through hardships and adversity, but it's the little things that really counts. It really is. It's the little things that count. And when we look at it from that perspective and then we begin to build on it through love and through conscious awareness, then we're going to be the person that people want to be around. We're going to be the person that we want to be around in the mirror. We're going to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm changing for the good. I am waking up. I'm becoming more self-aware. I'm becoming more conscious in the present moment. I'm being more present. And you know that when we become more present, we become more playful. Presence equals playfulness. Presence equals power. Presence equals peace. Presence equals passion and opportunity because it begins to be attracted to our lives and overtake us. So I just encourage you today, my friend, to do more allowing people to be who they are, being more non-judgmental, being more present. And we do that through surrender. We do say, okay, I'm letting go and I'm sinking into this. And if we fail, it's inevitable that we will many times over in certain areas of our life, but it's what we do with it, again, that matters. It's, did we learn to love in the moment? Did we learn to love ourselves? Did we learn to love those around us in the moment? Did we apologize quickly? Did we forgive quickly? Did we own it, take ownership of something quickly, more quickly than we did yesterday, more quickly than we did last week? And that's really a gauge to see how much we are growing in this earth school in love. That's what it's about. I believe it's about learning to love every moment of every day and playing in that love, being more playful no matter how hard it seems to be. And then when we play, we attract more play because we're in the frequency of play, and that saves the day. So hope that helped someone. I know it has helped me just talking about it and really absorbing this myself. And we become more heart-centered as we do these things. So, all right, ahui ho, and aloha from Hawaii until we see each other again. Take care.